I see people that are just like, boom, we just closed on a multifamily property, huh? Look at this, drop the mic, I get to go home, where's my $1,000,000, right? Here's the thing, when you guys buy these properties, the work has not even started yet. You guys think it has, but buying the deal is the easy part. Like making the deal work and bringing it to fruition, bringing it to a point of profitability is actually the hard part. We are heading back to the site. We've got a lot of really great meetings today. We've got a meeting with an appliance vendor, because that's a bottleneck we have, but I think that we're gonna dissolve that today. I'm excited for that meeting. It's not just appliances, he sells all kinds of stuff, and so we're gonna just try and negotiate a better deal on our supplies, including appliances. We're gonna meet with the regional manager for our property management company and the person that runs our apartment building, our site manager. There's some communication gaps, some breakdowns. We're gonna have that meeting, and we're gonna offer a enormously heavy incentive to the site manager for getting us to a certain level of occupancy. I think she's gonna soak it up. I'm really excited to roll that really heavy incentive because it'll make a big difference for her, but by her getting us up to our occupancy goals is gonna make a huge difference for us too. So it's a win-win, and we're happy to compensate her for that. There's also some communication breakdowns between her and her boss, the regional, and we're gonna address those, and I'm gonna not let them out of the room until we get it figured out, you know. So we sat down with the site manager, had a really good conversation with her about just the good things that are happening on site. We're getting lots of activity for leasing, a lot more people coming to the door wanting to rent here. The problem is that we're not able to produce the units as fast as the market's asking for them. Having some problems with appliances. That was a bottleneck that I mentioned before that I thought was slowing things down. We picked an appliance vendor that was for a while producing really good product and getting it here on time, because I need probably 2 to 3 kitchens a week worth of appliances to keep up with the demand that we're getting for the complex. There's been some struggles between the site manager and some of the higher ups at the company that the property management company she works for. I think we can mitigate that too. No surprises, just 2 things that I knew were a problem, that I suspected were a problem, are being dealt with, which is not having a full-time leasing agent and also slow down on appliances for turned units. So we're aware of it. It's what I thought was going on wrong, and she validated all that for me.
So we're down here at one of the buildings at the end of the property, and this building is completely vacant. So we have 8 units that are empty right now. We had a sewer leak a little while ago, and that's caused some, the tenants moved out basically, and so now we're just evaluating how to move forward from that leak. The leak's been stopped, but cleanup efforts and then moving forward. So we're with the team now looking at it and trying to decide what the best course of action is to get these units back online so we can get some tenants in here.
We had a great contractor that's referred to us by our property manager to come and take a look at what appears to be a minor issue with spore. You're not supposed to use the word mold because you don't know, he's haven't tested yet, but just a spore issue, or but a major water leak in the unit that caused some growth of something, which we're going to figure out what it was, and we're going to remediate it. I'm pleasantly surprised because I was told by our site manager that she told us that these buildings needed to be tore down because of how bad it was. Clearly not the case, and I'm really, really grateful that it's nowhere near the case. And I've actually seen actual mold worse than that, much worse than that. And so I'm glad that it was not anywhere near what I thought it was going to be.
We're doing unit turns and putting deluxe units out there, and we need appliances. We need an appliance package, black appliances, something that looks good, that match. And so for our deluxe units, they're new appliances. And we've had an arrangement with a large appliance company, and they've been flaking out on us. They haven't been delivering on time. They've been non-responsive to our emails. They've been delivering on days that we had not discussed. And so we're not getting the level of service that we need from them.
Now Sears and Sears Kenmore, Sears is in the middle of a bankruptcy, okay? And so, oddly enough, a company that's in the middle of a bankruptcy is having a problem holding their integrity with regards to getting us appliances that we needed in a given time frame. Crazy story.
So we have another contact with another company, the guy's coming out today, and we want to talk to him about what he can offer us, what pricing, but more importantly, what service.
We're interviewing a few other companies, including one that's going to be here tomorrow, for us to talk to about another source for the deluxe level appliances, okay? That's that conversation. On the other side of the conversation is we also have classic level renovations, which is just a spruce up. You go in, throw a coat of paint on the wall, shampoo the carpets a little bit, charge a lot less rent, and it's just a brought back to life apartment, okay, versus like schwanky deluxe.
So there's actually 3 styles of units that we have here. There's a unrenovated unit, which is when we bought the property, all the units were unrenovated. We then have a classic style renovation, which is just really paint, maybe some roll-on vinyl flooring, a very basic upgrade. And then we have our deluxe upgrade as well. And the deluxe is going to be nicer flooring. We're going to have black appliances. We've got nicer counters, new cabinet doors. We've got vanities upstairs in the bathrooms. It's more of a premium upgrade. And so with that premium upgrade comes a premium rent. So we have 3 levels right now. We're not offering any unrenovated units to any new tenants, but we are allowing our current tenants to stay in an unrenovated unit if they choose so, with modest rent increases. So we're about to go check out some of the work that's happening here at this unit. This is a unit that we're actually going to be testing a Airbnb model on. So we have 2 units here that someone is coming in to put out on Airbnb as a short-term rental.
Somebody made us an offer. I mean, honestly, it was something we had thought about doing our own, not an Airbnb, just short-term rental, right? Because they're not the only company that does it, but we thought about doing our own short-term rental model, but we actually had somebody who's an investor in this complex, entrepreneur-minded, wanted to try out subletting a unit and putting it on short-term rental sites. Now, what it enables us to do is, number one, continue to add more tenancy to the complex and stabilize our property, but it also enables us to test out to see how this goes. So if this goes without us taking any risk. We're in the middle of a turned unit right now. This is what was an unrenovated unit, and it's in the middle of being turned into what we're calling a deluxe. A deluxe has nice new paint on the walls. Now, this is, wood paneling, okay? Not in the budget to replace it or pull it out or whatever, and our market research has shown that it's not going to get you much more rent, if any rent at all. We're going to put new flooring down. It's got new light fixtures and new light switches and lights up top. We're renovating the kitchen here, and what we did was we pulled these boxes on the doors off the cabinets. Okay, we painted the box and we put new doors on. New appliances are going to go in here. These are new countertops, okay? Nice granite looking countertops. Not granite, but it looks like granite. That and new carpet on the steps and newly redone bathrooms upstairs. It'll cost us around $6,000 to turn one of these units and to bring it up to that level. And in exchange for that $6,000 investment, I can get anywhere between $100 to $150 more in rent for this apartment than I would be able to get for it if it were in the condition it was in before we bought it.
So we're well over halfway done with our renovations, and we still have about another 50 units to go. So we'll end up somewhere around 50 unrenovated, and then the rest, the other 150 will be some version of classic or deluxe. So we're here in one of our townhouse units. This is David from New Look, and David is one of our vendors here that's been doing a lot of awesome work for us for a few months.
This is the kitchen side of it. We're gonna take out all the appliances, take out the countertops, new light fixtures, take out all the range hoods. We're gonna replace all the cabinet doors and drawers, and new floors will be in here. It's kind of messy right now because it's our first day of actually it's our second day because we painted most of the downstairs already, but now we're bringing in the kitchen, so I'm tearing everything out and take all these things out and make it a home.
The gray.
Yes.
So tell me about the problem that we had with the gray paint.
The problem with the gray paint was the cost issue for the paint. It was in order to do a color change for all these big townhouses, it would literally take about 10 gallons of paint. It was a lot of money, and then it would take us a lot longer to actually do everything because it had to bleed through. You're technically painting the place twice. Because on these, you could wipe them down. Gray, you couldn't do anything about it.
So our new color is very similar to the color that is up there now.
Exactly.
Right? So all the unrenovated units had a certain color.
Exactly.
And we had said, well, let's just put a gray over it. But because it took so many coats, it was taking you guys extra buckets of paint and extra days
and manpower.
Multiple days, multiple buckets of paint required. So our costs were increasing so high just by the color of the paint.
Exactly.
So by switching to a yellow or cream color, whatever you want to call this color, we were actually able to save money on our renovations just in the paint color alone.
Exactly.
So this is actually going to be our laundry room. When we purchased the property, it was an inoperable room. It had been a laundry room in the past, but previous ownership was not using it that way. They can go into our leasing office and buy, basically prepay, essentially like a prepaid debit card for laundry credits, and then they can come and swipe their card here and use it. So that prevents people from outside, people that are not our tenants, from actually coming in and using our units. So we see the satellite dish on the ground, and actually all of our satellite dishes are in progress of being removed from the property. There will be no more satellite dishes here. We just worked out a contract with Spectrum Cable, and where they are now the exclusive provider of cable and internet services to this property. So we get to make a little bit of money per door, right? And also, Spectrum paid for the right. So we got a check from Spectrum when we signed the contract. So we got a nice chunk of money up front, and now we get a monthly recurring revenue stream just by having Spectrum be the exclusive provider. So we don't allow any window air conditioning units. It's against our policy. Every unit has central AC. So we paid a lot of money for central AC. If a tenant's air conditioning is not working, they should be reporting it to our maintenance staff, and we'll jump right on it. So if a tenant is putting in their own window units, it could be a liability issue. We don't want units installed incorrectly falling out of windows. We see some kids playing around back here, and it just it's extra, something extra that is not necessary on the site. It detracts not only from the there's liability issues, but then it detracts from the site appearance as well, where you have certain units that have window units sticking out. So our contractors just finished renovating this deluxe unit, so we're going to go in and take a look around and see. I have not seen it, so we want to check on their work and make sure that this is ready to be leased out. So we're looking to make sure that the work was done well, that the unit is clean, that there are no missing pieces from our scope of work. All the cabinet doors are there, all the lights work, all that sort of stuff.
Rent ready means all the renovations are done, including, for these types of units, cabinets, flooring, countertops, light fixtures, bathrooms, carpet, all done, right? And cleaned and fumigated for bugs and 100% ready. Just, it's simply rent ready, meaning like ready for a tenant to move their stuff in and start living here. So this unit was definitely not rent ready. And what's interesting is a lot of times in construction and renovations, it's very easy to get things to like 90%, 95%, even 99%, but that last little twist to get things over the line is what the real challenge is. This is definitely not rent ready. Two things, it's not clean and the electricity's not on. You can't show this unit with the electricity off. People need to see the light. It's hard for somebody to visualize themselves living in a unit without electricity on. When you renovate a site like this, there's a lot of different directions you have to pull your maintenance staff, right? So you one of two things. You can either hire more people when you need those kinds of things, and those the folks you bring in can handle maintenance items that come up in tenants' units, like the tenant's toilet's clogging, or their refrigerator isn't working, or their air conditioner's not working, whatever. And there's just regular maintenance stuff that has to happen at a complex like this. Those kinds of things don't go away. On top of all that, there's additional stuff that comes up when you're renovating a big complex and bringing something up to stability, just regular old, like just other maintenance stuff that comes on top of it. So what we've decided we're going to do, instead of hiring a bunch more labor to help us full time, we're going to bring in professional staffing agencies that give you short-term help with guys that are trained, that are certified to do things like air conditioner repair and stuff like that. So we're going to be bringing in short-term labor through a staffing agency, local help that can help here and there to help get us stabilized, and we can use them when we need them, but when we don't, they can go work somewhere else at another complex. It's been a whirlwind day, man. All day long. It really has. We had some great meetings this morning. I had somebody look at doing some remediation for us. I was impressed with how I don't think it's going to be that much work to get those units turned around, which is exciting.
Yeah, it's less effort than
met a new vendor for appliances, which that's been a big bottleneck we've had. We've been talking a lot about that, so I think that we've been able to find a good way through that, and maybe even a good vendor for other materials. We're going to see what he says about those kinds of things. Had a conversation with a future business partner of ours. It's a local business partner we might be doing some more work with in town.
Things look good there.
Things are looking good there. Had a great meeting with our property manager and our regional.
And good to sit down and have everyone in the same room. We all do remote video conferences, but today we were all together.
There's nothing like a face-to-face meeting where you can just be like, we just sensed that the energy was off between those two. And Justin and I called it out.
Just get them all back on the same page.
You call it out and you talk it out.
That's all you got to do.
That's what we did. You know, and now we're here to
Now
relax.
we're off duty.
Yeah, we're off duty. Hence the sunglasses, right?
We're going out.
We're gonna go and check out the Dogwood Festival here in Fayetteville and see what they got to tell us.
What happens?
Man.
See where the night goes.
Yeah, pretty pumped.
It was a good day.
Good day,
Good
man.
stuff, man.
Cool.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.